Child abuse has many different forms. Child abuse can be physical abuse, where a child has marks and bruises on their body. It can be neglect, where a child is just not taken care of by their parents.
And around my village area and stay there, it was still following us. And the most of the time, the target ones, when they come, they grab our little ones, the young children. The young women have to be raped or marry them, have them children, and those children who grab from us, they are going to be trained against us.
Kind of held it in so long, and it's real. I have so many friends that they daddy done stuff to them, and I'm talking about stuff. I be thinking my story is horrible. I'm talking about somebody daddy performing oral on them. Somebody daddy, screwing them, all that type of stuff. I'm talking about sexual abuse, mental abuse. I'm talking about it's horrible, and you won't believe how real it is. Like, you'll see this stuff on the news and on the internet with these kids getting locked in these houses and these cars and all that stuff. And you'll think that's not common sense, but it's to the point I think almost like 50% of people are getting abused.
Now at 12:30, a one-year-old child in Racine suffered severe burns, but it's how it happened that has many people shaking their heads. 6 children, all under the age of 10, left home unsupervised.
The youngest, just 1 year old, and the badly burned by scalding hot water. Nick Montez has been in Racine all day.
I was getting raped. I was like 5. And I was afraid because the first man did it, told me that he would kill me. And so I was afraid. And when I finally said something to my mom, she said I was lying and beat me and put me on my knees. So every time it happened after that, until I ran away, they knew nothing. And when I got older and started rebelling and it came out, the whole family was like, that happened. And it's more so like, people don't know if you don't say something, because I could have been protected. But by me not being so afraid of my mom and of these people that I was, that hurt me, I could never just tell someone. But I cried because I was like, why didn't you pay attention? If I'm this young, I shouldn't have to tell you something. You should know, because you should see how I act.
It's so clear that it is the right thing to do, but it's important people understand that it is the legal responsibility as a citizen. A citizen. Citizens have obligations in these great United States of America, and I can't think of a higher responsibility that citizens of this great state or this nation have than to protect children. And if you look...
Sometimes we kind of think that child abuse and punishments are the same.
It doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter your education, it doesn't matter the wealth of your family. Every child is subject to child abuse.
I do believe that a parent should and can punish their children, whether it be with punishment, whoopings, but there's a difference when it comes to abuse and beating and really causing some physical harm and damage to a child.
When I was young, I've been beaten. I used to have long hair. My mom would wrap it around her hand, and when she'd get mad, she'd hit me against the stove. Been molested. I ran away.
You know, this is not something that you can give an antibiotic to or really a quick fix, and this really is something that affects a child through their lifetime and shows up in kind of ways we really don't think of.
The worst I've seen personally is a child who was a victim of shaken baby. Everything in her was hurt. She had skull fractures, she had bleeding in her brain, she lost her eyesight, lost her hearing, she could not breathe on her own. The only thing that was keeping her alive was the base in her skull that was still in her, was attached to her spinal cord that was allowing her to breathe.
I had to be taught to walk with my head up, to be taught not to sit like this. I sleep like this.
People are afraid to report. They're afraid that their name is going to be put out to the family on who reported it. That is not the case. When you report a case to the Child Abuse Hotline, all your information is confidential.